Welcome to this Labor Day edition of BNEWS Weekly and the last weekend that the children will be home from school. I hope all you moms and dads are ready for next week. I'm Phil Gallagher along with BNEWS Director Rich Hosford, BNEWS reporters Chris Flaherty, Peter Brown with the weather, Maddie Shipka with the Community Bulletin Board, and also Robert Paris is with us today. The Massachusetts Department of Public Health has confirmed a case of measles, which was diagnosed at Leahy Hospital and Medical Center. The individual, during their infectious period, was in a number of locations that could have resulted in exposure to other people. DPH says measles are very contagious and people who are not immune and visited the locations listed on the specified dates may be at risk for developing measles or may now be developing symptoms of the disease. Anyone who visited these locations on any of these dates during the times listed is advised to contact their healthcare provider to confirm their immunization status. The locations in question are Logan Airport Terminal B in Boston on August 15th, Lexington High School Library on August 16th, Irving H. Mabee Town Pool Complex in Lexington on August 19th, Leahy Outpatient Center in Lexington, 16 Hayden Ave, Lexington, August 20th, 11:30 a.m. to 3 p.m., Leahy Hospital Emergency Department on August 20th, Leahy Hospital Inpatient Units 7 Central, 6 Central, and 5 Central on August 20th. State officials are urging all of those who do not know their measles immunization status to get vaccinated with at least one dose of measles, mumps, and rubella vaccine. Measles vaccine given within 72 hours of exposure may prevent measles disease, and vaccination beyond this window will provide protection from subsequent exposures. Leahy Hospital has been reaching out to individuals at high risk of exposure and is collaborating with DPH and local health authorities to ensure that all exposed individuals have this information. DPH says those who are exposed and begin to develop symptoms of measles should call their healthcare provider before visiting an office, clinic, or emergency department. They should not just visit a healthcare facility because that could put others at risk. Early symptoms of measles occur 10 days to 2 weeks after exposure and may resemble a cold with fever, cough, runny nose, red eyes, and a rash. The rash usually appears first on the head and then moves downward. People with measles may be contagious up to 4 days before the rash appears and for 4 days after that rash appears. We'll keep that on the community bulletin board, those dates and locations for you to consult as we go forward. At its last meeting, the Board of Selectmen voted 4-1 to place an article on the September town meeting warrant that, if approved, would direct the board to start the process of changing the treasurer tax collector position from elected to appointed. The idea of making the change was first floated in February after current treasurer tax collector Brian Curtin, who has been in the position for over 4 decades, announced his retirement. Selectman Bob Hogan, currently the vice chair of the board, said at the time that he felt the position had grown too complicated over Curtin's tenure to have it to be in the hands of someone who was more popular than qualified. He pointed out that the town's budget had grown from $20 million to about $140 million during the last 42 years, and there are more rules and regulations. The timing of the issue also became less pressing. In April, Curtin announced that he had reversed his decision to retire at this time. He said it is still his intention to retire within a few years, but that due to a range of circumstances, he had decided that 2019 was not the right time. One concern he had was too much transition among top leadership in town all at once. Town Administrator John Petrin had announced his retirement, and at that time it was known that Town Accountant Paul Sagarino was seeking that position, to which he has subsequently been appointed. Hogan again brought up his concerns with having that position an elected one and suggested the warrant article for September. Curtin, who was in attendance at the meeting, said he believes the position should remain elected and independent to ensure checks and balances and to have the person have to answer to taxpayers and residents. If passed, it would put the treasurer, town accountant, and auditor all under the direction of the executive board. In the end, the board voted 4-1 to put the article on the warrant. Selectman Joe Morandi was the one no vote. Finally, the process of changing the position from elected to appointed does not end with town meeting. If town meeting votes in favor of the article, the Board of Selectmen will then place a ballot referendum question for the April town election. With the recent departure of Sears and the Sears Automotive Center, major renovations are in the works for the Burlington Mall. BNEWS reporter Chris Flaherty spoke to Burlington Mall General Manager Justin Feldhaus, for a look into the future of the shopping center. He files this report.
Shoppers in the area will soon start to see big changes to the Burlington Mall. Plans to renovate the former Sears and Sears Automotive sites were recently approved and put into action.
Burlington Mall has been here for 50 years and it's transformed a number of times over the last 50 years, and we're in the process of doing that again and getting the site ready for the future. We are working with the selectmen and the town meeting members to collaborate on what that future is, and through our work with the planning department, we are excited to start work on the Sears building and the Sears Auto building. And so the next phase really is something what we like to look at or call is live, work, and play, where we're looking at less dependence on apparel retailers, less dependence on anchors, and more experiential retail offerings, more chef-driven restaurants. We're excited to start the next phase with the town.
Renovations would see the former Sears location transformed into an extension of the mall corridor, providing more retail and restaurant options for shoppers. The building that used to house Sears Automotive would be demolished to make room for a new building that would house additional retail and restaurant locations.
We're excited to start demolition on the Sears Auto building, hopefully next week. And if all goes well, we should be turning over to tenants in that building in March or spring of next year, and then it should be open for summer. In the Sears main building, we're hoping to start demolition and construction the 1st of January of 2019, and then be ready for tenants to open by the end of the fall.
So why the switch from a larger department store anchor like Sears to more smaller retail offerings?
Well, I think it's important to know that we're continuing to transform the center into what the highest and best use of the real estate is. And shoppers are telling us that they want more experiential offerings like chef-driven restaurants, and they're looking for a different experience than the department anchor stores. And so that's what we're trying to give consumers. We think that there's limitless possibilities. We do see that the malls that do well in the future and be successful will be more mixed use in nature and might have other components to them that we don't have today, like residential or grocery. What we're trying to do is prepare our center for the next 50 years and beyond by responding to consumer requests and market demands.
Justin expressed his and Simon's gratitude for the town's input on the project and their hopes for the future of the Burlington Mall.
We're really thankful for the collaborative process that the whole town of Burlington has been working with us on. The planning board has been great, and we have a better project as a result of the dialogue with them. We're working now closely with the Board of Selectmen on the proper amount of liquor license requests, and we're hopeful for in the near future that this will be something we can put behind us and move towards a better Burlington Mall for both us and for the community.
Until next time, this is Chris Flaherty for BNEWS Weekly.
The project is not quite ready to go forward since town meeting will need to approve the request for additional 9 liquor licenses at the state. Also, the mall has had some problems with restaurants in the not too distant past, with Besito, Bobby Flay, Pizzeria Uno, and Rainforest Cafe all going out of business. Burlington's effort to combat the opioid epidemic has been recognized by a national organization dedicated to the same cause. Police Assisted Addiction and Recovery Executive Director Allie Hunter McDade and Burlington Police Chief Michael Kent announced that the department and its AmeriCorps service members were honored for the distinguished service to the Burlington community. Recovery coach Jackie Tayabiji, excuse me, Jackie, if I didn't get that wrong. Get that right. I did probably get it wrong. Program Coordinator Margie Taylor, Chief Kent, Captain Greg Skian, and Officer Robert Aloisi were presented with the PAARI AmeriCorps Excellence Award this Sunday at the graduation ceremony for the first group of AmeriCorps members embedded with Eastern Massachusetts Police Departments to support their opioid recovery efforts. Hunter McDade said all law enforcement host sites are worthy of recognition, but through their commitment to service in the community, the Burlington Police Department and its PARI AmeriCorps team went above and beyond to ensure that their program made a lasting difference. Through hands-on engagement with members of the communities they serve, the first class of AmeriCorps members have been able to work with more than 4,000 individuals who have been directly impacted by the disease of addiction. Burlington's AmeriCorps team, who were brought into the department last year, alone served over 1,300 people, helping to direct those individuals into treatment and recovery, the release states. As a result of their success, Burlington's program will expand into a regional effort with the help of a Cummings Foundation grant. Chief Kent said he is proud of what his program accomplished in its inaugural year. St. Malachy's and St. Margaret are soon to be called Burlington Catholic. This collaborative will bring forth both of these churches together as one. BNEWS reporter Robert Paris went to learn more and has this look.
Two Burlington churches will come together for the first time. This week I went down to speak with Father Frank Silva about the upcoming collaborative happening between St. Malachy's and St. Margaret's.
Here in Burlington, we've been designated by the Cardinal that the parishes of St. Margaret and St. Malachy will become a parish collaborative as of June of 2019. The reason that St. Margaret and St. Malachy's have been designated as a collaborative is because of their proximity to each other, the commonalities that they have, and again, recognizing the certainly the distinctive character that the people of this wonderful town of Burlington have, it would only seem natural to do that.
The collaborative will bring changes in the Mass schedule, as well as religious education classes and other activities.
People will have questions about what does this mean for the scheduling of services, especially Sunday Masses. How do we address the needs of the young people in our community, particularly in terms of their religious education and formation? I cannot say at the present time what all this is going to mean specifically, but I can tell you that once the collaborative is initiated as of June of next year, obviously there will be an effort to take a look at how we can best address all of these needs and some of those that I've just mentioned.
As of right now, a pastor is still in the works.
Come next June of 2019, there will be a pastor who will officially be appointed as the leader of the parish collaborative involving both parishes. I don't know who that will be. That any appointment of a pastor always rests with the bishop himself, in this case, Cardinal O'Malley. And so during this year, part of the process in preparing for that collaborative is there will be consultations being made by the advisory and council groups that each parish has. And with that information will then be shared with those within the Archdiocese who are responsible for making recommendations to the Cardinal for possible pastors within a parish collaborative.
The collaborative will start next summer.
It fully takes effect in June of 2019. Right now, however, with my being again involved with both parishes, it's providing an opportunity to do some of the initial work that many do not have the opportunity to get in place until the collaborative actually has been named, or the leadership of the collaborative has been named.
Finally, Father Silva hopes the collaborative will bring the Burlington Catholic community closer together.
My hope is that by making the church, its presence, as strong as we can at the present time, we're really providing the soil for future Catholic generations to come and not only to worship within their respective Catholic churches, but also be able to make an impression within the wider community for those of us who, again, profess the Catholic faith.
From St. Margaret's, I'm Robert Paris for BNEWS Weekly.
Two Burlington students were recently honored for their leadership roles in a student group dedicated to making a difference. Marshall Simons Middle School announced that JFK Library presented two 8th graders with John F. Kennedy Make a Difference Awards. Jolene and Sean received the Make a Difference Awards for their exemplary volunteer and service work with Teen Light, the 8th grade community service program. Jolene and Sean are student leaders for Teen Light. Teen Light is a community service program that develops young leaders and promotes community service while raising awareness about issues affecting teens. Each year, the students choose a cause and raise money throughout the year to help teens in need. The group raised approximately $10,000 this year to help teens struggling with depression and anxiety. Jolene and Sean attended the award ceremony at the JFK Library in Boston, along with other 8th graders from across the state who are involved with the community service. The always beloved Burlington Truck Day is returning for its 20th year this September. BNEWS Director Rich Hosford went to speak to the organizers to find out what's in store for this year and has this report.
Burlington Truck Day is set to return for the 20th year this September, and to get a quick preview, I went to visit the men behind the popular event, retired firefighters Al Fay and Wally DeCoste at Al's award-winning homemade fire museum. Al said the event started because while Burlington Fire and Police Departments had a number of events in their honor, another department was mostly overlooked.
But nobody really ever had much with the DPW. And we can't say, neither one of us can say enough about the DPW. Great, great guys. So we suggested, it was Wally really, I think, got started, how about bringing the equipment up where people can see what a snowplow looks like and everything.
The event started small, but over the years has grown to fill the town common and be a destination for hundreds of families.
When we first started, all we had was a highway department with 4 or 5 trucks, and then we had just a couple of other dump trucks and a tractor or 2. And then as the years went through, we contacted more and more people, and we just kept coming up with more and more people that would come, and then all of a sudden we'd get phone calls. Hey, can I bring my truck or my tractor or my front end loader up there? And it's just gotten bigger and bigger every year.
The variety of trucks, construction equipment, and emergency vehicles is always a big draw for people of all ages. Many kids, and even their parents, take turns climbing up into the driver's seat and basically use the vehicles as jungle gyms.
Well, the kids like it because the kids see all these big trucks going up and down the road all the time, but they have no idea what it's like. They can climb up inside of them. They blow the stuffing out of the air horns all the time until the air goes down and there's nothing. And I've seen the guy who brings the truck, he goes over and starts it up and builds the air back up so the kids can blow the horn some more.
And where else can a 4 or 5-year-old kid get inside a truck and hold the steering wheel and see what it is? And we joke about it all the time, Wally and I and the other fellows that are involved. Sometimes it's the father that wants to get in the truck, and the kid doesn't want to get in the truck, and the father's trying to, but he really wants to be the one to get in the truck.
Burlington Truck Day is also a day for local community organizations to raise some much-needed funds.
The Girl Scouts, the Boy Scouts, the adopter classes are big, and they sell their wares down the common.
Selling
We
candy,
don't
soda,
charge
and
for
water.
any tables or any of
all
that
being
stuff.
run by the Scouts. All
We
the adults kind
supply
of stay back
all
with
the
their
hot
hands in our
dogs,
pockets,
the
letting them do all
hamburgers,
the
the
work.
water, the ice cream for the kids. They sell it, they keep the money, so they all do very well that day.
Finally, this year there will also be a special DPW food drive to benefit people helping people in the Burlington Food Pantry during a time of the year when donations are often low.
We're going to have a highway truck there and fill the truck with food for the food pantry. And the DPW guys are all excited about that. And they're going to have their truck there. So we're asking different people, and if you can put that in your, bring canned goods and stuff like that, and fill the truck for the help food pantry.
Truck Day will be held on Sunday, September 16th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. on the town common. As they have the last couple of years, BCAT volunteers Maddie Shipka and Jolie Atwood will be covering the event, so if you see them in our cameras, give them a wave. At Al Fay's Fire Museum, I'm BNews Director Rich Hosford.
Okay, on your food donations, don't forget to check your expiration dates on the cans and any other things that you provide, because the food pantry cannot accept them if they're out of date. Take a few extra seconds before filling up your gas tank to ensure your banking information isn't about to be stolen. With the summer travel season in high gear, the Federal Trade Commission is warning drivers about skimming scams at the pump. According to the FTC, skimmers are illegal card readers attached to payment terminals. These card readers grab data off a credit or debit card's magnetic strip without your knowledge. Criminals sell the stolen data or use it to buy things in your name online. Here are a few tips to help you avoid a skimmer when you gas up. Make sure the gas pump panel is closed and doesn't show signs of tampering. Many stations now put security seals over the cabinet panel. If the pump panel is open, the label will read void. Look at the card reader itself. Does it look different than the other readers at the station? For example, the card reader on the left has a skimmer attached. The reader on the right doesn't. Try to wiggle the card reader before you put your card in. If it moves, report it to the attendant, then use a different pump. If you use a debit card at the pump, run it as a credit card instead of entering a PIN. That way the PIN is safe and the money isn't deducted immediately from your account. If you're really concerned about skimmers, pay inside rather than at the pump. Monitor your credit card and bank accounts daily to spot unauthorized charges. If your credit card has been compromised, report it to your bank or card issuer immediately. Federal law limits your liability if your credit, ATM, or debit card is lost or stolen, but your liability may depend on how quickly you report the loss or the theft. The Burlington Red Devils are back on the turf to start up another season of varsity football. BNEWS reporter Robert Parris went to talk with Coach McKay about preparations for the upcoming season and files this report.
Are you ready for some football? Because the Red Devils season is on its way. This week I went down to Varsity Field to catch up with Coach McKay about what he and his Devils have been doing during the offseason.
We've had a great offseason, a great summer. We've trained with Athletic Evolution all summer, Monday through Thursday, 6:30 in the morning to 8:30. A very good strength and conditioning program for our players, our student athletes, to get them ready for the season. We did a very good job with our summer passing league. Very excited about that. And then we've had a good start to the preseason. We've had a good first week of practice. Guys are flying around, playing hard, and we're really looking forward to getting things going this year.
If you take a look at the roster, not much has changed. Majority of the players on the team have returned from the previous season.
So actually we have a lot of players back from last season. A lot of guys are back from last season. A lot of juniors and seniors got a lot of playing time for us last year. We've got about 9 starters back on both sides of the ball. And we've got a great sophomore class this year. We got about 19, 20 sophomores working extremely hard, picking up our system pretty quickly. They've been a great addition to what we'll be doing at the JV and varsity level. And we've got 15 new freshmen in, hoping to get a couple more out. And their effort has been phenomenal so far this preseason. So we're really excited with the group that we have coming back this year.
There is one new addition to the team that you will easily recognize, the helmets.
And as far as the helmets, which I didn't answer last time, that's something we did in the off season, myself and the AD. We really like the color scheme of it. We like the pitchfork, getting the whole Devils thing going, and new look, new team. We're excited for the 2018 season. And
I got a chance to talk with Kyle Pena, who is starting his second year as quarterback.
We trained a lot during AE and some of the quarterback camps we do. I'm just practicing on the footwork and looking through my progression and trusting my eyes.
Finally, Coach McKay is looking forward to the new season with the Red Devils.
I mean, this season we're taking this thing day by day. We're working as hard as we can every single day. Our purpose this year is to be 9 strong. That means every single player, every single coach is working as hard as he can. He's relentless with his effort every single day, and that's what we're focused on. If we do that, we will be very successful because we have a talented group of young student athletes coming back. So I think things will take care of themselves if we're focused on each day, focused on working hard each day. I think that big picture, which is winning the football games and having success, will take care of itself.
I hope we learn how to come together and be 9 strong and get some wins.
From Varsity Field, I'm Robert Parris for BNEWS Weekly.
Burlington Town Common will once again be lit up for the Festival of Lights, and many Burlington residents of Indian descent are inviting the entire community to participate. Indian Americans for Burlington held its first Diwali celebration on the Town Common last year in a well-attended event. Earlier this month, representatives from the group received permission from the Board of Selectmen to use the Common for this year's celebration on Sunday, September 30th for the Diwali celebration. The event will start at 3 p.m. During the meeting, IAB member Indra Deb said the actual day for the Diwali this year is November 7th, but the group wanted to observe the holiday earlier in the fall, due to what the weather may be like that late in the year. Member Rajani Segal added that since last year was so successful, they are going to expand the event this year. The event will feature festive cultural performances, games, a photo booth, food and other stalls to shop, a street play, a cultural program, and more. Diwali is the most popular festival in India, and its spirituality signifies the victory of light over darkness, good over evil, knowledge over ignorance, and hope over despair. What could be better than those things? Deb said one goal of the event is to bring Burlington's Indian and non-Indian populations together for a shared celebration. He added that IAB has been working hard to support the community with its civil, charitable, and educational mission. The board voted unanimously to support the use of the town common. They also approved a rain date of Sunday, October 7th. It's been a very hot and humid week, and to see if any relief is coming, we go now to BNews weatherman Peter Brown in our Weather Center for this week's forecast. We'll also check out the community calendar with Maddie Shipka to see what's happening in and around Burlington.
Well, hello everyone, and this is Peter Brown with a look at your weather for the next 7 days, and I hope you've all been able to find great ways to cool off and beat the heat. We've seen temperatures in the mid and upper 90s over the past few days here in the Burlington area, but for those of you who really can't quite take this type of extreme heat this late in the summer, we do have some really nice weather ahead for you going into the all-important Labor Day weekend, which marks, of course, unfortunately, the unofficial end to the summer season. Now, starting our period on Thursday, again, no surprise for this summer, we're going to be looking at temperatures well above our average for this time of the year. Temperatures, again, up in the mid to upper 80s. Now, this is going to spell the last day of this type of heat for at least a few days out. And we may be actually, seeing these temperatures, these average high temperatures. We may actually be well below these as we head into the Saturday and Sunday time frame. So if you like cooler weather, that's something to certainly look forward to. And of course, look at here, ending our period out into September. The unofficial start of fall, technically, the start of meteorological fall will be on September 1st. And our temperatures are still beautiful, of course, going into the start of September. Average highs in the mid-70s. Looks like we're going to be actually a little bit warmer than that as we head towards the end of the period into the beginning of September. And of course, as you notice here, the days keep getting shorter and shorter, so that is a certain sign that we are heading towards fall. Now, as we look ahead, I'm going to show you a little bit about what's going to be going on with our weather for the next 7 days. And if you're looking at this map, it looks very similar to a lot of the maps we've been showing you this entire summer. Really not a lot going on in the Burlington area, and in fact, really not too much going on anywhere in New England. And again, on Thursday, we're going to see this cold front that's going to be coming down from southeastern Canada, and that might bring us the chance of some rather strong to maybe even severe thunderstorms as we head into the late morning and early afternoon. But once this front pushes by the Burlington area, it's going to push all of this heat and humidity and all of those temperatures in the upper 90s to near 100 well out to sea. And we're going to see this beautiful high pressure center come in from down in central Canada in the Midwest. And that's going to take over and bring us an easterly flow off of the ocean going into the Labor Day weekend, meaning we're going to see temperatures much, much cooler than we've been seeing over the past week or so. Now, getting towards the end of the period, you notice there's another front heading towards us, and this may actually bring us in some more warmer temperatures, maybe getting up into the mid and upper 80s again as we get towards the end of the week. Now, as we go ahead, let me show you a little bit about those temperatures and the weather that we have coming up for the next 7 days. And again, Thursday here in the Burlington area, we're looking at those temperatures to be again in the mid and upper 80s, still a little bit humid out there. And again, that chance for some maybe strong and severe thunderstorms to finally push all of this hot and humid weather away from us. And look at this on Friday. Clouds part, the sun's going to come out, going to be a mix of sun and clouds, but look at the high temperatures, only in the mid-70s. And if you're going anywhere near the coast, towards Boston or anything, temperatures will probably not be getting out of the upper 60s as we get into Friday. And look at this on Saturday and Sunday. Originally, it looks like we might have a chance of maybe some spotty showers on Saturday. Looks a little bit more possible if you're going to be closer to the coast, but here in the Burlington area, looks like it's going to be another beautiful mix of sun and clouds day. And look at this, temperatures only in the low 70s. And comfortable sleeping weather at night. Now, as we get into the Monday and Tuesday time frame, Monday, of course, being Labor Day, I see a chance of maybe a few scattered showers in the area. But again, temperatures fairly pleasant, around 80 degrees. And as we round out the week getting in towards Wednesday, we're going to see those fair skies return and temperatures again well up above average, up into the mid and upper 80s again. So everyone, get out there, enjoy this last weekend of summer coming up, and enjoy the weather.
I'm Maddie Shipka, and this is your Community Calendar. Come and learn about journal entries about a young officer who fought in World War I. On Thursday, September 6th at 7 p.m., the Burlington Public Library will be having a presentation called Service of Supply, A Year in the Quartermaster Corps. 1918 through 1919, with Charles Maynard. This presentation tells a story about a young officer who writes colorful letters to his sweetheart describing his life behind the lines in World War I. Everyone is welcome and the event is free. For more information, visit burlington.org or call 781-270-1690. He helped draft the Declaration of Independence and the U.S. Constitution. On Thursday, September 6th at 7 p.m., the Burlington Historical Society will be having a presentation about Benjamin Franklin with Phil Gallagher. Come and learn about one of the country's most dynamic and interesting founding fathers. Everyone is welcome and the event is free. The presentation will be held in the newly renovated Murray Kelly Room of the Human Services Building. The Burlington Players are back. Beginning on September 7th through the 22nd, the Burlington Players will be performing their fall production of Nuts by Tom Toper. The play is a courtroom drama, suspense, and psychological drama, and explores sexual abuse issues, family and social power dynamics, and aspects of the criminal court system. Everyone is welcome. For tickets and showtimes, visit burlingtonplayers.com or call 781-229-2649. I'm Maddie Shipka, and this has been your Community Calendar.
Another week, another photo to highlight. This week's photo shows a lovely group of dedicated volunteers that we are proud to call our own. It was sent in by Joe Brown of Joe Brown Photos and is of our own BCAT green screen magic crew at this year's Celebrate Burlington. These volunteers, mostly members of our high school club and middle school Video Voyagers program, were led by BCAT production coordinator Tad Stefanak and were at the event to allow participants to capture short videos of themselves in front of our green screen with a background of their choosing. Thank you for the photo, Joe. We'd like to see your photos. It could be of something you see around town, whether outside your own door, or even photos of your family members, friends, and pets, whatever you think is interesting and would like to share with us and the community. Email your photos to bcat@bcattv.org with the subject line Photo of the Week. Okay, that's it from the news desk here at BNEWS Weekly. I'm Phil Gallagher, along with BNEWS Director Rich Hosford, BNEWS reporters Chris Flaherty and Robert Paris, Peter Brown with the weather, and Maddie Shipka with the community calendar. Thank you for joining us.